This year, I made my second legal $1 million. But just 10 years ago, I was sitting in a federal prison and I got there chasing money the wrong way. Nobody ever sat me down and explained how this stuff actually works. And I learned every one of these lessons the hard way. And now I'm handing you all of this in this video. So these are the 10 things that I think really matters financially, ranked in order with the numbers broken down behind each one. So you can grind for the next 40 years and still have absolutely nothing to show for it. I watch men work twice as hard as me and retire with absolutely nothing. So let's get into it. Number one, making money is not building wealth. When I came home from prison, bro, I had a felony. I didn't have a degree, not a single dollar to my name. Some of the guys I grew up with were making real money back then, way more than me at least. And a lot of them, guess what? They're still broke today. You've had real money hit your account before tax. When I first got like some real money, I spent that shit so fast because I didn't have the discipline or knowledge on money and how it actually worked. It was my first time having money and I was hanging around with my friends that had real money and I thought that I could spend money the way that they spend money and they had real money. I only had like new money. I spent that shit so fast, like it disappeared. I remember looking up one day after making a lot of money and I'm looking at my account and I had $232. I took a picture of that because what I felt in that moment, I never wanted to experience again. And I said, let me document this shit because I'll never be back here. So money that comes in and leaves, it was never yours. It just visited your account. So write this down as number one. Income is what comes in. Wealth is what you actually keep and grow after you get paid. Now, my first $1 million, it came from making $10,000 and telling myself, you know what? From this $10,000, 7 of this, I'm gonna put into an account, an investment account that I'm never gonna touch again. I put it into a Roth IRA because I knew that me making my money work just as hard as me would be the differentiator in my success versus just having or making money. Making money and keeping money, those are two different things. And at this stage, or what's next for you, is to understand that wealth is about keeping the money that you do make. Because if you make $100,000 and you spend $90,000 of it, you only made $10,000. And it took you what, a year? You made $10,000 in that year. Think about that. So invest your money, put it somewhere where it can grow. Make your money work just as hard as you. Treat your money like little soldiers. They go to war for you because a paycheck, the second that you stop, the paycheck stops. But wealth, it works while you sleep. So every time money touches your hand, ask how much of this is staying and then how much of this is going to work. Now, the first thing wealth needs from you isn't more income. That's where we get this shit so wrong. You're like, oh, if I had more money. I know that sounds backwards, but the numbers are going to show you why. Number two, time is the one advantage that you cannot buy back. There's one number that decides how expensive your first $1 million is going to be. And it has nothing to do with your paycheck. It's your age. Every year that you wait to invest, to start building, you are taking away from your future. The difference is starting and maxing out your Roth IRA at 18, right? If you maxed it out starting at 18 until retirement, you would have about $7.2 to $7.5 million. If you maxed it out and you started at 30, you cut that to about $2 million. So from 18 to 30, it's not just 12 years of your life, it's also fucking $5 million because you simply started at 18 versus starting at 30. This is what I want people to understand about money. Money is about starting young. You don't need to wait till you're 25 to start investing. You don't need to wait till you're 28 to start taking your life seriously. That's what they want you to believe. That's how they keep you in the trap. Enjoy your teenage years. No, those are your building years. Listen, the clock is ticking. So where is your money sitting while it actually ticks? You need to figure that out and you need to make a decision now. Number three, your savings account is quietly robbing you. Saving money is losing money. Stop doing that shit. I know how that sounds, but stay with me because nobody told me this until it was way too late. You did what you was told to do. Make money, save money, but the price of inflation greatly outweighs the return that you get from your savings account. Any regular savings account, you earn about 0.01%. Inflation is at about 4%. So you're losing 3.99% of money every single year. What that means is that $10,000 today probably be about $5,000 or have the same buying power as about $5,000 in the next 15 years because it's losing value, it's inflating. The value of the dollar decreases. So having that money just sit, you're losing. That's why I always suggest you to put it into a high yield savings account, earning you at least 4%. So that way your money is actually making you money while it sits and it fights against inflation. But where your money sits doesn't mean a thing if you can't make it to the end of the month. Number 4, I call it my 70-30 rule. It's hard, but it's so worth it. For 3 years after I started making real money, I bought nothing. No Ubers, no DoorDash. I wasn't dating nobody. I lived like I was still broke. I wore the same clothes. I lived in the same apartment. I ate the same food. I felt like I kind of was still in prison. Everything I owned was like secondhand. I didn't buy nothing new. And like for me, like I took the same principles and routine that I had in prison and I just applied it to life. Because if you can survive and be broke in prison, you damn sure can do the same in society. That was my mindset. So I lived like I was still in prison. But for you, I would say live like a college student. Fucking meal prep your shit. Don't buy clothes. Don't date unless like you're in a serious relationship and y'all both have the same goal to make money together. But other than that, you don't need to be dating. You don't, because it distracts you away from, like they take your most of your brain powers. Most of your energy goes towards a relationship that could be spent increasing your net worth and building your portfolio and building wealth in your early 20s. And so while everybody was spending money, I was stacking my shit. And you need to also be able to track your money. Do you know exactly where your money went last month? That's a real thing. You can't measure your money if you don't track it. You can't track your money if you don't measure it. Those go hand in hand. Like if you don't have a starting point, it's hard for the GPS to give you directions to a destination. You need to know where you're starting. Okay? So do a budget, know where your money is. And so 70-30, if I make $10,000, I immediately put $7,000 away and I figure out how to live on the $3,000. Now I know everybody can't do that, but if you can get and stay as close to that 70-30 rule as possible and do it for a long period of time, you'll see your fucking income grow. You'll see your freedom grow. You get out of the poverty ecosystem. You get out of the mindset of poverty and brokenness. It's hard to see growth opportunities if you're stuck in survival mode. That's the most important part, is getting out of survival mode. How do you do that? You save your first $10,000, you invest 7 of it. So you know that for the next 3 months, you're covered. That's the play. 5th thing, I want you to start pricing it in hours of your life instead of dollar amount. The price tag that you looked at this morning, it lied to you. The number on it says one thing, but the real cost that they hide from you, the number, it says one thing, but the real cost, they hide that from you. The tag might say $1,500, but that's not what you traded to get it. You traded your valuable time. How much do you make an hour? Let's say you make $20 an hour and it costs $1,500. How many hours does it take you to make $1,500? That's what it cost you. It wasn't just the $1,500. So the next time you go and buy some shoes or you buy a bag, stop looking at it as a dollar amount and look at it as hours of your life. When you start doing that, a lot of this shit don't start not to be worth it. That's how I look at stuff. How many hours of my life does this cost me? Because again, that's the one thing that we can never get back. The money gonna come and go. Your time is borrowed. So every price, it's really a bill of your time. So start looking at everything by your hours of your life and not the actual price tag that somebody set for you. Everything so far is about keeping money. Making more is the other half. Now, Omar, he came to me. I remember this like it was yesterday, $8,000 brand deal. They offered him that. I told him absolutely not. Charge $25,000. You know, he walked away with $22,000 from that brand deal just from me giving him the blueprint that I used. He was about to leave $14,000 on the table for the same exact like work. Or like, look at my homie Chase, full-time college student. He went from making fucking no money on TikTok to $10,000 in his first month. Now, if this sounds appealing to you, I'll leave a link in the description and we can hop on a call and figure out if this works for you. But let's jump back into the video. Number 6, I call it keep the coffee in the company. Keep buying your coffee. I know you see the millionaires every day breaking down the math on it, but hear me out. You tried cutting everything out of your budget. How long does it last? An $8 smoothie, $8 coffee. That's never kept nobody broke. You know what has? That car note, that $750 car note. Living in an apartment that you really can't afford. Go live with a roommate. And I know you don't want to, but sometimes in order to get where we need to go, we have to sacrifice certain things. Maybe you need to stay and live in your mom's basement or apartment for a while until you get your shit together. It's not the coffee. That $8 don't matter. That $750 every month, now that adds up. Imagine that same $750 put into the stock market every single month. You would be up almost $500,000. The same money that you spent on a car, if you would have put that into an investment portfolio or your Roth IRA. We have to start training our brains to stop consuming and start creating and building wealth for ourselves. And then how do we know how much? Just budget. A budget that makes you miserable is a budget that you're going to quit. So instead of cutting what you love, do this. Look at what you already pay for every single week. Amazon, Netflix, Visa. Start putting a little money towards that shit. Start owning those things instead of just consuming those things. Every time you want to buy a new iPhone, go put half of that money into Apple stock. Your brain and like your wealth, all of these things shifts drastically. Which brings up the number one question. Okay, Trell, but what do I actually buy? Listen, I will show you exactly what to buy. I'll teach you exactly how to buy it and what to buy. Number 7, what should I actually buy? Now, you've heard invest from everybody, but none of those people saying it has ever put up their portfolio and show you which buttons to press to actually buy it. You know you should invest for a while now. You knew that, but you're scared because you don't know what to do. You're scared to lose money. I don't know what it is, but that gap between knowing you should and knowing how, that's where your years disappear. I'll show you exactly what stocks and investments I bought, how I grew my shit from $7,000 to over 300K in the last fucking 5 to 6 years. I don't know. Open a brokerage account. I use Vanguard. You can use Charles Schwab, Fidelity. You're gonna link your bank account. This will probably take you every bit of 8 minutes, maybe a day or 2 for your bank to verify your brokerage account because you need to actually buy stock. Cool. I typically tell you to buy stocks over ETFs. Stocks is what help you grow wealth. ETFs kind of protect wealth. If you want to play it safe, you buy ETFs like VOO, QQQ. But I personally, if I'm trying to build wealth, I'm taking risk. I'm buying stock. I'm investing in AI and technology stocks. I'll show you exactly which ones if you need help. Just DM me and I'll show you. Now, stocks are one way in. There's another one that you probably thought wasn't for people like us. That brings me to number 8, real estate without being a landlord. I have no desire to work more. I don't want to be a real estate agent. That requires a lot of fucking work. You think you need a 6-figure salary and a mortgage to own real estate? That thinking is what's costing you. It's costing you a whole asset class, a whole nother income. Like in your head, you wrote real estate off for years because of credit checks, down payments, tenants. I'll tell you exactly what I did. I got a homie who's been doing real estate for as long as I could remember. He went to Harvard. This dude's smart. He's one of the smartest dudes I know. He's been in real estate for a long time. I went to him. I said, hey bro, look, I know you're in real estate. I've come across a lot of cash flow and capital lately. How do I invest in whatever it is that you're doing? I don't want to be a landlord. I don't want to learn real estate. I don't want to be a realtor. I don't want to do any of those things. I simply want to invest my money. He was like, bet. It was a no-brainer because people like that, they need income. They need cash flow. So now we're on our second property. First one, I put up $75,000. We bought a whole building and you get your dividends every month. It took a few years for it to build out, which is fine, but you own the building. And whenever he sells the building, you get a share. Whatever the building makes monthly, you get a share. And that's how you get in the game of real estate without having to do the extra work. I'm lazy. I don't want to do any extra work. I genuinely don't. I want my money to do the work for me while I sit my lazy ass back and make videos for you guys telling you how to get the money. That's the play. Now, another way to do this, if you don't have like a real estate friend like myself, is REITs. REITs are real estate investment trust. That's where you pool your money together with other investors and you guys buy real estate together. You can start with $1,000, but guess what? Nobody is calling you at 2 a.m. coming to fix the toilet, fix the roof, and you still own and you do no work. That's what I mean by making your money work for you. Number 9, unfollow your way to wealth. Trell, what does that mean? Your feed is a spending machine, and it was built for you specifically, and you don't even know it. Every time you study and look at something or like something on social media, it feeds you more of that. These things are designed crazy. It's almost dangerous. It's almost like a gun. The gun in itself isn't dangerous. The people who use it and what you're using it for is dangerous. And the same with social media. The people that you follow, all of that, they feed it to you. It's like trying to start a diet, but then you move into McDonald's. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that you're trying to build discipline in a place that was designed to break it, brother. If you stand by a hot dog stand long enough, eventually you're gonna buy a fucking hot dog. Stay away from the hot dog stand is what I'm telling you. Be mindful of what you're consuming. That's why I always say, stop consuming, less consuming, more creating. Start creating. How about every time you log on to scroll, how about instead of scrolling, you post a video? That's the difference from consuming and creating. And once the feed and scrolling stops costing you money, it actually can start paying you. And I've made over $1 million from mine. I know you can do it. And then the last one, your scroll time should pay you. I've made over $500,000 from brand deals, another fucking $1 million from content. The first videos were filmed in my apartment building, the laundry room from my phone. You on these apps for hours. All of that time, you're making somebody else money. You could be creating, you could be making your own money. You could be using that time to create content, set your tripod up, start recording videos, start highlighting products, start talking about your journey in your life. How about you stop trying to be an influencer and you start creating content? Those are two different things. And I had to learn that. Reason it took me so long to start making money from content is because for so long, I was trying to be an influencer. I was trying to go viral. I was trying to be famous. I was trying to be cute and sexy online, and that shit doesn't pay. Maybe you get a little bit of attention from the girls and likes, doesn't pay. But when you start creating content, which revolves around doing real shit, helping real people, educating real people, your ceiling to make money is fucking out of this world. Education content creators makes way more money than your regular influencers. Take it from me. I've spent years influencing, and I just started content creation, and I made so much money from content creation and influencing. So that's basically the full list. That's 10 things that mattered on my way from walking out of prison to making $2 million. Run your money through this list and you'll know where exactly every dollar goes in order, and starting today, not tomorrow. Now, if you're serious and you're not just like kind of thinking about it, but you're ready to lock in and build something, I'll leave a link where I'm only going to accept 15 to 20 people inside my inner circle. Now, my inner circle is where you have access to me and all of my coaches, my entire team, and we take you through a step-by-step process to earn you money, build your platform, and then start investing your money so that you can actually build real wealth. If that's something that you're interested in, again, I'll leave a link in the description. First 15 to 20 people DM me. Let's hop on a call. Let's get you inside this inner circle. Now, thank you for watching. I hope this video helped. Peace.